Measures of variability. Introduction. A measure of central tendency tells much about a distribution but does not give a complete picture of the distribution. When two distributions are to be compared, if it is based solely on averages, quite wrong conclusions may be drawn. Other descriptive statistical measurements need to accompany averages to amplify the description of a set of data. Hence, this study session will focus on measures of variability. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to differentiate between measures of central tendency and measures of dispersion or variability. You should be able to as well compute and interpret measures of dispersion like range, mean absolute deviation, standard deviation, and variance by inference. A measure of variability tells how spread out or scattered scores in a distribution are. The measure of variability are needful when comparing two distributions. For instance, two distributions of statistical data may be symmetrical and may have the same means, medians, and modes. Yet they may differ in the distribution of the individual scores about the measure of central tendency. The measure of variability thus explain and illustrate the methods of describing the dispersion and skewness of distribution by the use of single numbers. For example, consider the three distributions below: A, B, C. Under A, we have 8, 8, 8, 8, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And for B, we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2. And under C, we have 20, 9, 8, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0. The arithmetic mean of each of the three distributions is the same, that is 5, while the median and the mode is 3, and it is the same for the three distributions. If we are to compare the three distributions on the basis of the measure of central tendency, then we may conclude that the distributions are the same. This may be rather erroneous because a close observation of the scores in each distribution shows that they are dispersed differently. For instance, the lowest score in distribution A is 3, while the largest is 8, and the scores do not vary much from one another. For distribution B, the lowest is 2, while the largest is 10, and the scores are more spread out than distribution A. Distribution C has 0 as the lowest score and 20 as the largest. The scores in distribution C are more dispersed than other two distributions. A measure of dispersion or variability is needed for a more accurate comparison to be made among the distributions. Thus, the central location of two distributions may be the same, but the variability may differ. Also, the variability may be the same, but the central locations may differ. Locations and variability are actually independent, while variability refers to the distance between each score and any other and is measured with a measure of variability. The measures of central tendency show locations in a set of data. A measure of variability shows numerically the degree to which scores spread around the average. It is a measure which tells whether scores cluster closely around the mean or whether they scatter widely. Measures of variability are useful in many areas of life, although it is not frequently reported because it is not familiar to many as the measures of central tendency. A measure of variability tells us how representative the average is. If the numerical value of the measure is small, it means that the individual scores are close to the range. If the variation score is large, the mean can be used with less assurance because the scores are rather far from the mean. The range. The range is the simplest and weakest method of summarizing the variability of a distribution. It is simply defined as the difference between the highest value h and the lowest value l. This can be symbolized as r equals h minus l, where r is the range, h is the highest value, and l is the lowest value. For group data, the range is calculated by subtracting the lower limit of the bottom interval from the upper limit of the top interval. Thus, range is equal to ULT minus LLB, where ULT is the upper limit of the top interval and LLB is the lower limit of the bottom interval. The range is, however, the most unreliable of the measures of variability. This is because it is determined by only two measures, with all the other individual values in between having no effect in the calculation. There is often a gap between those extreme values used in determining the range and the next highest or lowest value in a distribution. If these extreme cases are absent from the distribution, then there would be a significant difference in the calculated range. For instance, consider these two distributions. Distribution A, 20, 16, 16, 15, 15, 15, 15, 14, 14, 10. Distribution B, 20, 19, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 11, 10. The range for the two distributions is 20 minus 10, which is 10. An observation of the values in distribution A shows that the scores are relatively clustered near the middle of the distribution, while those of distribution B are more spread out. The range is therefore a weak measure of variability of distribution A. For instance, when the two extreme scores are eliminated from the two distributions, the range for distribution A becomes 16 minus 14, which is 2. This is rather far from the earlier range of 10. For distribution B, the range becomes 19 minus 11, which is 8. It is still close to the initial range of 10. Since this type of change occurs frequently, the range is considered as a crude measure of variability, just like the mode, and it is avoided as much as possible in the behavioral sciences. Generally, the range is more unreliable with a small sample size than a large sample size. This is because with a small sample size, the extreme values may be marked by one case. But when the sample size is large, there may be more than one case for each of the extreme values. Thus, the probability of the range being altered as a result of missing scores is higher for a smaller sample than for a larger sample. The mean absolute deviation, MAD. The mean deviation is also referred to as the mean variation. It is a measure of dispersion which considers the deviation of each measure in the distribution from a measure of central tendency. The deviation from the mean, as it is always called, is obtained by subtracting each value of distribution x from the mean value x bar. If a particular measure is greater than the average, it will have a positive deviation with a positive sign, and it is said to have a positive deviation. If the score is less than the mean score, it has a negative sign, and it is said to have a negative deviation. A measure that is identical with the measure has a zero deviation. If all the deviations from the mean were calculated from all the measures in a distribution and the average of the sum computed, the resultant value is the mean of deviation from the mean. If the measures in the distribution were widely dispersed or scattered, then their deviation would be relatively large, and this would be reflected by the mean of the deviations. If the measures were clustered or concentrated about the mean of the distribution, then the mean of the deviations would be small. Thus, the mean deviation is an excellent measure of dispersion. In calculating the mean deviation, however, the signs of the deviations of each measure from the mean are usually ignored. This is because in a perfectly symmetrical distribution, the algebraic sum of the deviations from the median or mode would be 0, and such is the case in any distribution. The difference between the positive and negative deviations, that is, algebraic sum of the deviation from the mean, must always be 0. Recall that it is the mean of this sum of deviations that is calculated to obtain the mean deviation. Consequently, the deviation of a measure from the mean is meaningless in this wise. Rather, it is the absolute deviation from the mean that is meaningful. By absolute deviation from the mean, the signs of the deviations are ignored, while the magnitude of the deviation, that is, the actual value of deviation from the mean, are emphasized. This is referred to as mean absolute deviation, MAD. Thus, all deviations are treated as positive. Some examples are now considered from ungrouped and grouped data. Table 13.1 shows the raw scores of trainees on a 20-point test. The interpretation of the mean absolute deviation measures of variability is that, on the average, the individual scores in the distribution vary from the mean score of 16.2 by approximately 1.6. Thus, scores within the limit of 1 MAD below the mean and 1 MAD above it will range between 14.6 and 17.8, while plus or minus 2 MAD range between 13 and 19.4. If you subtract 1.6 from 16.2, it gives 14.6, while if you add 1.6 to 16.2, it gives you 17.8. That is for plus or minus 1 MAD. For plus or minus 2 MAD, multiply 1.6 by 2, then subtract and add respectively to 16.2 to have 13 and 19.4 respectively. From the table, the MAD will be equal to sigma open bracket x minus x bar close bracket all over n, where MAD is the mean absolute deviation, x is the individual score, x bar is an average of the individual score, x minus x bar is the absolute deviation of each score. MAD will therefore be 160 divided by 10, which is equal to 1.6. The standard deviation, SD. This is statistically the most reliable measure of dispersion, noted by S for sample and phi for population. It varies less than any other measure of variability from sample to sample, the samples being chosen at random from a sample population. The standard deviation and variance are the most frequently used measures of dispersion or variability because they have certain properties that make them preferred to the other measures. Variability in actual sense refers to the extent to which scores differ from one to another. In statistical terms, it means the difference between each score and every other score in a distribution. Since the mean is the most frequently used measure of standard tendency and best represents all scores in the distribution, it is more reasonable to define the deviation of a single score from the other scores as its distance from the mean. This is symbolized by deviation score equals x minus x bar, where x is the individual score in the distribution and x bar is the average of the distribution. When the deviation of a single score from each of the other scores in a distribution is determined, that is, by computing the difference between the score and each of the other scores, and the average of these deviation scores is calculated, it will not be much different, if at all different, from the deviation of the score from the mean of the distribution, that is x minus x bar. Thus, the deviation or distance of a single score from the mean is a representation of all possible deviations or distances of the scores from each of the other scores in the distribution. When a score is extremely different from the mean, the numerical deviation score for that score will be large. But scores that are close to the mean will have small numerical deviation. But scores that are close to the mean will have small numerical deviation scores. The word numerical is emphasized because it is actually the magnitude of the deviation that is of interest. The deviation scores will normally have some positive and some negative values, which, when the deviation scores are added, that is summation x minus x bar, it is always equal to 0. Thus, if we are to calculate the average variability by averaging the deviation scores, that is, by summing the deviation scores and dividing by n, it gives us summation in brackets x minus x bar over n. Then we will have a 0 score always, which will make a nonsense of the whole exercise. To overcome this problem, we have to take the absolute value for each deviation by ignoring the sign, and then utilizing its numerical value for the computation of the mean absolute deviation, MAD. Though the MAD is a descriptive measure of variability, but it is usually rejected for its inadequacy in further statistical analysis. This is because absolute values which are incorporated in MAD are suitable for use in inferential statistical analysis. The measure which takes care of this problem without using absolute values and is useful for further statistical analysis is that which requires the squaring of each of the deviations before taking the average of the squared deviations. By squaring the deviation, the negative signs are taken care of, and all the squared deviations become positive. The sum of the squared deviations from the mean, that is sigma open brackets x minus x bar all squared, is called the sum of squares and is symbolized by SS. The average of the sum of squares is a measure of variability called variance, which is symbolized by phi squared. That is, phi squared equals summation x minus x bar all squared all over n, which is equal to SS over n. This is, however, the formula for the variance of a population. When the data of a sample are to be used in estimating the variance of the population from which the sample was drawn, then the sample variance is computed with some slight changes in the formula. Variance equals summation x minus x bar all squared minus n minus 1, which will give us SS over n minus 1. Whereas the population variance is represented by the square of the Greek letter sigma, the sample variance is represented by s squared, although both are often used interchangeably. For the population variance, the sum of the squared deviation is divided by n, while that of the sample is divided by n minus 1. This is to enable s squared to be unbiased estimate of the population variance. N minus 1 is the number of deviations about the mean that are free to vary. This number is called the degree of freedom. For reasonably large samples, however, the actual value of variance is affected a little whether we divide by n minus 1 or n. In each of the formulas above, the steps involved are: 1. Subtract the mean from each score. 2. Square each result to eliminate the minus signs. 3. Sum the squares. 4. Divide the sum by n if population variance, or n minus 1 if sample variance. The computation of SD differs from the MD in two ways. First, in computing the SD, the deviation of each member from the mean is squared. Second, the deviation are always taken from the arithmetic mean, whereas that of the MD may be taken from the median. Also, having squared the deviation, these squares are then summed, and the sum is divided by n. Then the square root is taken to give the SD. Be informed that variance is the square of the original unit in which the mean deviations are based. This is aimed at eliminating the negative signs that would have yielded a total of 0 if the deviations from the mean were added. The average of these squared deviations will certainly not produce an average variability, but is the most ideal measure of variability. To accomplish this, we have to take a positive square root of the variance, bearing in mind that the variance is the average of the squared deviation. This yields a measure of variability called the standard deviation, symbolized by sigma for population standard deviation, or S for sample standard deviation. The formulas are: to calculate for SD from ungrouped data, S is equal to the square root of summation x minus x bar squared all over n. That will give us the square root of 49.60 over 9, which is equal to 2.35. This formula is used for manual calculation and is called the definition formula. We also have S minus square root of summation x squared minus summation x all squared over n all over n minus 1. That will give us square root of 2,674 minus 26,244 over 10 all over 9. That will give us square root of 49.60 divided by 9, which is 2.35. This formula is used with a scientific calculator, and it is called the computational formula. For population, sigma equals square root of summation x minus x bar all squared over n. That will give us the square root of 49.60 over 10, which is equal to 2.23. This formula is used for manual calculation and is called definition formula. The average deviation of scores from the mean is 2.35 and 2.32 for sample and population respectively in the distribution. Calculation of the MAD and SD from grouped data. MAD will be equal to summation F times x minus x bar all over n, where MD, F, x bar, and n remain the same. X in this case is the midpoint of each class interval. Thus, S will be equal to the square root of summation F times x minus x bar all squared all over n minus n, while sigma equal to square root of summation F times x minus x bar all squared all over n. These formulae are called definition formula. They are used for manual calculations. Also, S equals square root of summation fx squared minus summation f of x all squared over n all over n minus 1, while sigma equals summation x squared minus summation x all squared over n all over n. These formulae are called computational formula. They are used with a scientific calculator. Study session summary. In this study session, you discovered that the measure of variability tells us the degree to which scores vary from one another and from the mean. The measures include the range, mean, absolute deviation, standard deviation, and variance. The range is the difference between the highest value and the lowest value in the distribution. The mean absolute deviation is the deviation of each measure in the distribution from a measure of selected decimal. The standard deviation is the positive square root of the average sum of square deviation from the mean, while the square of this value is the variance. Thus, the average of the sum of squares is variance. End of study session 13. Thank you for listening.